Let's do it. And we are live.
As I'm chewing.
I was gonna say, did you get a snack? Is that what you did?
I had to go. I had a reminder. I had to go take care of something with the dogs, and
Uh,
then I gotta admit to you, James, I have an addiction, and
two.
my addiction is chocolate.
Oh, same.
And I don't know if I walk past anything chocolate, I'm like, I gotta.
Gotta have it.
Yeah, it's really bad though. Like I say jokingly around, but like pretty much every day, I'm like, there's a piece of chocolate.
Oh, I'm much better at not bringing stuff into the house than I am not eating it if it's in the house. If it's in the house, I definitely eat it.
Yeah.
Christian said a snack would be great right now. Christian, it's like 9 o'clock your time, PM, I think, in Germany.
Oh yeah. Let me
So
get the
late night
comments
snack,
down.
or I guess that's not like late night snack. Maybe get in the bed snack. Frackberg on Twitch, here to support while I lurk and study. Love it. I'll take
Nice.
it.
Love it, Frackberg.
Reminds me of Family Guy, James Woods. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. It's hard. Yeah. I'm really bad because I don't feel like my meal is complete without dessert. And usually dessert is like something chocolate.
Yes. I've been doing that. It's funny, we're very similar in that way. I've been doing that, like, I'll have lunch, and then I'm like, "I need something just a little sweet." So and I'm like,
Uh,
"1 piece of chocolate," and it's
and then it's like, well, like 5 pieces of chocolate is basically the same thing.
right. You gotta go up to the serving size, right?
I think so. Oh, fun. Well, for context, one, we haven't gotten to hang out in a while, so that's fun. And
Yeah.
then two, I posted about, and I want to show you this first, and then we can maybe look into like VS Code extension. But I was trying to, and I've done this before, but it's been like 2 years. Have a OBS integration where like they have a WebSocket that's built in now on version 29 or whatever forward. They have
Mhm.
WebSockets built in that you can send messages to. And I mean, I spent like 2 hours working on this, trying a million different things, and just couldn't get the actual connection to be valid or whatever it is. So I'll show you that in a second. And then the other piece was to do like a VS Code extension. And I don't know, like, I don't know how exactly this would work. Like, would we do a VS Code extension that just opens up a WebSocket that we can send messages to, or would you just have VS Code listen to chat directly and just like respond to it? And I don't know. I don't know what the best approach to that would be.
Yeah. We can definitely get into that because I have experience with all of that, generally speaking.
Yeah,
Although, it's been a while since I've done the Twitch that latter half that you're just talking about. Um, but,
of like of listening to commands or listening
yeah,
for
so
messages.
well, maybe we could bring up, like, the Twitter conversation or something like that to give the context,
Mm,
but, like, in those replies that I was giving you, um, a buddy, Parathon, from the Twitch community helped build out this extension many moons ago, early on in my streaming career, um, because I wanted to what was happening, and I imagine you can probably make use of this extension if you'd like, since you're looking to do more of that engaging stuff while you're doing more of these, coding streams now, right?
mhm,
Um what it does is what I was finding is there are people that are, like, pair programming with me that are watching the stream, and they'd be
mhm.
like, "Oh, you got a bug over here," and then there was this back and forth
And you'd be
trying to
like,
figure out,
"Where?"
like
Yeah.
yeah, trying to figure out, "What are you talking about? Where?" So, I created this extension with Parathon where you send a command, like, exclamation point line and then the line number, and it only as of right now, only works for the active file or editor tab that
Mhm.
you have open, and it will go and, like, change and highlight that line of code or multiple
Super
lines you could
cool.
do.
Yeah.
And that way, and with a comment too. And so if I hover over that highlight, it'll show the comment of like what they're
Yeah.
saying, like, "Hey, you missed the semicolon," or whatever, right? Something like that. So, and for that, what we did is we just listen. We connect to Twitch and listen to the chat directly from the extension.
Okay, cool. And
So,
then
but we could
that's
explore the other way, like going WebSockets or whatever you want to do.
yeah, I guess it'd be interesting if other people kinda chimed in on this too. So I was just thinking like what sort of configuration you would have for the extension, like if other people were using it. Because if it's just yours, obviously you just have your hard coded set of commands or whatever that you're listening for and the actions that go with them. But if it was a more generic thing, how would people use the extension and then define their own commands to listen for? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I started heading down this path to building out a separate suite of extensions, basically, that are catered towards live streaming and Twitch.
Mm,
And so far, the farthest I got so far was I created, because one of the things that's built into my extension was the whole auth flow with Twitch to get access to the Twitch chat on behalf of your account. So I was like, I want to separate this out, and I created and VS Code probably within the past, I forget exactly when it came out, but they came out with these authentication provider type extensions. So kind of like when you sign in with your GitHub account into
mhm.
VS Code, it's basically that. Like you can create other ones for Twitch, for I don't know, I can't think of anything else. But any basically anything you do an OAuth flow with, you can do in VS Code
Okay,
using the auth provider type extension that you create.
interesting. Okay.
So I created one for Twitch that um I think you're familiar with him, Bald Bearded Builder Triple B.
Yeah.
He is using that in his themer extension where he lets his chat change the theme of his VS Code.
And
So
that's
he's the
one of the
only
things that
one.
I have.
Go ahead,
Well,
yeah.
again, I'm like hard coding or hard writing to the settings file in mind, but that's one of the settings that I have.
Yeah. So, I'm in the process of, like, building out extensions that are a little bit more agnostic and let
Mm.
you
And you can just
control.
choose the
You
ones that you
can
want.
you can with mine, like, you can change it instead of it being exclamation point line, you can make it something else, but it's still gonna have the end result in terms of the action that you want to happen when that
Okay,
trigger
so those are kind of
occurs.
predefined by
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
So it would be
Um,
neat to get a more generic one that's like,
right.
and maybe that's what we could build together here, or, like, what
And that
listens to the chat, and then when you let the settings in your extension define what commands you want to enable, and then what actions to map those to, something like that.
yeah. And maybe having by the way, Chris Wicks on Twitch. What's going on? Chris, what are you up to today? Chris is doing some awesome work in the community. He's looking for his first developer job. And I say this all the time. He's well beyond where he should be, like experience wise, like he's so
Mm,
good.
nice.
And he's working on a project. We're working on a project together that is becoming like a community led project, which is super cool.
Mm.
But yeah, it was like if we did a WebSocket thing, I guess that I don't know. I guess we could have like a defined set of actions and then maybe a configuration thing that the user could set is like what is the command and the action that you want to choose. And I don't know how on VS Code that works from a settings perspective for an extension. I have no idea.
Yeah, so, yeah, when it comes to extensions, I've not built one that messes with the settings of VS Code itself, but I imagine they have an API that's available to, like, mess with that type of stuff.
Yeah. Well, so how does BBB do his theme switcher?
I don't know, exactly
Okay.
in the weeds, but he has it open source on his GitHub that we can use
Okay.
as a reference too.
Do you have a link to your project as well? So I was trying to find. I don't remember when exactly that our conversation was on Twitch. So I couldn't find it, like in a
Um,
brief look. But Chris said
I'll get
relaxing,
all, like,
reviewing PRs. Yes, and I assume that's PRs or at least some of it for deals for devs, which is what we're working on. Planning a this kind of hurt today. So he said he's planning a DB switch after Planet Scale announced no more hobby plans as of
oh,
April 8th. And this coincided with layoffs and a few um one of really good friends was affected. A few people that I like know online at least were affected. That's where I was laid off a year and a half. How long ago was that? Almost 2 years, whatever.
wait, are you saying they had
And
more layoffs since the
yeah,
time when you did? Wow, oh,
they had
man,
layoffs today and announced no more free hobby plan.
ouch.
So it's um yeah, not good. I'm gonna
No,
put a
it's not
link.
good, man. It feels like it's not stopping. I thought, like, we got
It
through,
just
like,
gets
the bulk of
worse.
it. Yeah, I thought we
Yeah,
got through the
no,
bulk of it, but it seems like it's not stopping.
I know.
Um,
That's the really scary part. Like my wife and I just went out to lunch and we talked about this a lot of the time. It just you think you kind of make it past something and to see more layoffs basically every week or at least every other week, like someone does layoffs and that's terrifying.
do you think, and this is where it's on my mind, where I'm suspecting that I think it's a lot of companies that are just late to coming to that conclusion,
Maybe
and they kinda should have done it sooner, like last year when
earlier. Yeah.
majority of it was going. Like, my company last year did a couple rounds of it.
Hmm.
Um, Fortunately, didn't get impacted by it, but,
Right.
yeah, like, I feel like we're through it, at least at my company, because they did so many rounds of it last year that, like,
Yeah.
we should be, there's no indication that, at least as of right now, but seeing all these other ones is making me a little nervous,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's kind
yeah.
of so Okta, where my wife is, went through layoffs a couple weeks ago. Again, like friends that I had worked with when I was there. And anyway, that was hard. And then hopefully we hope we're in a position where it's like, okay, they won't do layoffs again. So hopefully we're safe for a while with her. But you just don't know. I mean, I think all of us kind of think we're getting to a point where it's over and then it hits and we're like, shit, like
Yeah.
we're still here. Frackberg said got laid off in August, still looking for work. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. I one of the things I wanted to offer, I don't know that I'm like the best person, but I'm was gonna post this on Twitter. If anybody was laid off and is looking for like a resume review or something like that, that I would be happy to do that. So Frackberg, if that is helpful in the least, I'm just one kind of randomish person. But if that's helpful, feel free to reach out and let me know.
That's awesome. On a plus side, though, I don't know if, well, Frackberg, you let me know if it's okay to share. He shared a win that he had that was just financially related, that
Mm,
is good for him and his family, that
okay.
because we do wins of the week, like kind of like
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
And in the Discord he shared that. So I was very happy to see
Oh,
that.
nice. Very
Yeah.
cool. Did I steal that from you? I don't remember who. I think it was influenced by you. I think you
I
were first.
it doesn't matter, dude, like,
Yeah.
just glad to see it, like, going, you know what I mean?
The
And we've talked about it
positivity.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the whole idea behind it, and, like,
Yep.
I keep telling the community, it's like, I was very much the reason why I started doing it, I forget where I got the inspiration from, to be honest, but credit to whoever it was that came up with this whole
Yeah.
mentality, right? Like, shout out to them. Um but, like, so much of my time was, like, spent focusing on the negative and dwelling on the negative stuff, and since
Yep.
getting into this practice, I thought it was all hoity-toity, like, "Ooh-ha,"
Mhm.
like, kumbaya kinda stuff, and I always pushed it off, and then I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna start doing this as, like, my stream thing," and, uh, like, having that habit, it's, like, immensely had an impact on my mental
Mhm.
health,
Yep.
so
It's huge. Well, one thing I've realized, all the all the things that are cliche probably because they work. Or not all of them. Like you have to like pick and choose. But like that sort of thing sounds so cliche and like no way that actually works. But the reality is like so many people talk about it because it actually does work. And I think
right,
about like when people are like, oh, I want advice for looking for a job that doesn't include networking. Like networking is the easy piece of advice. But also is one of the biggest impactful things that you can do. Like we look at I see people all the time apply to hundreds of jobs and never hear anything. And they have one tiny connection somewhere and then they get an interview and then it's up to them like how do they do.
right.
But even though it seems cliche, like it's cliche because so many people talk about it and it actually has impact. You just have to really buy into it. And that's kind of the hard part, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think you hit it spot on. And networking definitely is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't have the network. The only time I would say I got by without a networking was early on, like getting my first internship.
Yeah.
I don't know, I got lucky. I felt like I bombed my internship phone interview too, actually. Back then it was just a phone interview.
Where
So
did
maybe
you where'd you intern?
I interned at Disney.
Oh, okay. And were
Yeah.
you already in Orlando at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I came here to go to school, and then, once I knew I was coming down here, I'm from New York, so that's why I say down here.
Mm.
Um, once I knew I was coming down here, I was like, I set my eyes on, like, "Oh, it'd be great to work at Disney." I love
Yeah.
Disney. Yeah.
Did you
So
work with John Papa was at Disney?
yes. Yep.
And, Shane Boyer at Disney
Yep.
also?
Yes, sir.
Did you all, like, migrate to Microsoft together, like, around the same time?
Yeah, we did. Again,
That's
networking right
hilarious.
there.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's hilarious.
So,
DS on YouTube, welcome. Frackberg said, "I think the worst one was 5 rounds of interviews only to get a generic, we went a different direction from email.
yeah.
That sucks." Um, Queen Ray, what's going on? Yep, just mean you're old now, James, having the life experiences that are proving to be cliches. Yeah, it's true. Ray, you've been killing it on YouTube content recently. I've been seeing because we have notifications in Discord for when YouTube videos get released. I feel like I'm seeing like one a day from her, which is pretty sweet.
Nice, that's awesome. That's hard to do daily.
Yeah,
So,
I'm.
big props there.
I I've had this thought that I would like prioritize shorts because they seem to be the trend. But then I never really did it, to be honest, prioritizing it. But I'm thinking I might do it because I'm kind of struggling creating the bigger content. And shorts they're shorter, obviously, but then also you don't have to do a thumbnail for them, and there's a little bit less that just goes into it. So I'm thinking just for like simplicity of getting content out, that I might do more shorts and kind of prioritize getting content out in whatever form, which may be more and more short form. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Streaming
definitely
daily this week. Sorry, yeah.
streaming daily. Wow. Streaming
Yeah.
daily and producing content daily. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fits on TikTok and IG shorts too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's a lower lift in terms of effort, right?
Mhm.
To make those
Yep.
pieces of content, especially as such short amount of time it is in duration. So yeah, we've been at Sneak. We've been focusing on not meaning to like plug or anything. We've been focusing on. I'm just
Shout
my
out.
work though. What I'm working on though lately is related to this. That's why I'm bringing it up. They have me
At
like
the amazing company
100%
that you work at, what's their name?
Sneak. Oh, you're joking. Oh, damn. Okay. Um, anyway, they have me focusing 100% on making YouTube videos that were getting queued up, and it takes a lot. Like this is the first time where I've been able to like dedicate for my job 100% of the time
Hmm.
on making the videos. And yeah, those long form videos are a lot. And we have an editing team that we're working with that's like helping
That's
take at
super
least that
helpful.
part, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not doing the editing at least. And yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's amazingly helpful.
yeah, I'm excited.
Um,
Actually, I want to float some of them by you before we start publishing them to see what you think. You know,
yeah.
if you don't, if you're interested
Which
or
company is this
security.
for again?
I'm not falling for it this time.
Ah, it's
That's
good
not
to
why
see
I'm
you.
here, James. I'm here to just hang out and code, man.
I know, but it is all like I don't know. It's fun to poke fun at, but also people should talk about the companies that they work at, especially when it's stuff that you enjoy, and that's good,
Oh, absolutely.
especially in the economy right now, which is additionally good.
Yeah.
Um, I think I can't remember if we talked about this recently. I know I kind of check in. You're still not really doing much travel conferences, right?
No, but I am planning to go to. It's not going to be anything in the realm of like what this audience is probably going to go to, unless you're a Java developer. But
Mm.
we found
In a
that
past
most of
life.
our in a past life, yeah, same.
Mhm.
Most of our team is going to be the DevRel team at my company that shall not be named. Uh, are going to be at this conference. So I was like, hey, and it's in Atlanta, which is like a quick
Okay.
skip away from me, you know?
Yep.
So I was like, I'm not going to pass up an opportunity team. So if anybody's going to Dev Nexus in Atlanta in April, I will be there.
Oh, so it's not just Java though, right?
Yeah, that's
It's
true. But if,
evolved a lot.
yeah.
People so that one and another one in Atlanta are both run by the same person or people, and people rave about those two events all the time.
Oh,
And
okay.
I've never quite seen like CFP, or I've never got invited or anything, so I've never applied or been. But people have always told me those are ones that I should go to.
Oh, wow. Okay. I hadn't heard of it prior to the folks on
Yeah,
my team mentioning it. So
it's
no
a
shade or anything, but that's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, to hear.
it's a good one. I think you'll enjoy it. I was going to tell you, this is, I mean, a couple hours away. I'll be in Tampa, actually St. Pete, south of Tampa, in April, like late April, for front end design conference. If it's like close enough and you're slightly interested enough to make a couple hour trip over to the west side. I guess Orlando's like central
Yeah,
east.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we can make
if
we can
there's a
see about
chance,
making that happen. Yeah. It's
yeah, that'd
only
be super fun.
depending on how far into Tampa, it could be somewhere between an hour to 2 hour
Yeah,
drive type of thing. But
it'd
yeah.
be on the longer side because it's on the other side of Tampa.
So like St. Pete.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Is
Yep,
that we okay, yeah.
yep.
I thought you were gonna say
Coding Gimmick,
Miami because I know about React Miami's happening
React
around the
Miami. Yeah,
same time. And my
I
buddy
won't.
Cecil's is thinking about going to that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
He was on the podcast, gosh, a couple months now, I guess. I don't
Oh
remember
yeah?
how long. Yeah. He was one of the people that I knew because I lived in South Florida, Miami area when I started with Microsoft. So I didn't really know him that well. I heard people talk about him all the time, and I met him like maybe once or twice, but then we know each other a little bit better now, like virtually after being in the same area in person for a while. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's good
yep,
people.
yep,
So, yeah, he was
um,
bringing that up as a potential opportunity to meet up, but I think
yeah,
the we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
yeah. React Miami. I'm jealous. I'll definitely have FOMO for that one. It's around the same time. The one I'm talking about is like the week after React Miami,
Yeah.
so they're in similar time frame. Coding Gimmick on YouTube and Code with Tommy. What's going on, y'all? How's it going? They said Brian is here. Dot dot dot. That dot 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 means yay. Hi. At
Okay.
least that's my interpretation.
Very ominous ...
I know. If there was like the hi with extra eyes in it, which I think adds the like positive energy to it, the excitement. So
Yeah.
I think you're covered.
Okay, cool.
All right. Can I show you some OBS code, or what I think would be OBS code or work with OBS?
Yes.
And then, like I said, I've been. This is your extension, by the way. I've been trying to do this for like literally hours I spent on this, and it was just so many things that didn't work out. So,
I found the,
um,
I should have. Where is it?
oh well,
Shoot. The
I just
Twitter
showed my
thread, right?
password. I can reset this. Does this matter if I have
Oh,
if
I
it's a
missed it.
local host?
Yeah, I
No, it's
wouldn't
still
worry
up
about
here.
it. Yeah, I've shown mine on stream before, and it's not, I mean, it's all localhost, so unless somebody
Yeah,
has access to, I mean, there's varying
unless they
layers
have
to
my
this, right?
actual IP.
Unless they have your
But
IP, unless they
can they
are on your
really?
network, you know?
Yeah, the like people can't if someone has my IP, what can they really do with it? This is a question I saw somebody post, and I really don't know the answer.
Okay, well, this is definitely a conversation that I'm into because I'm very privacy oriented, and I don't
Okay,
like sharing, or I try my best to avoid exposing my IP
I would think not. Yeah, but I don't
because
fully know why. Let's go back
generally
to
speaking, the way I view it, and I might be wrong on this, so don't count me as like an expert in this, but like, well, one, your IP rarely changes, and depending on your internet service provider. So, and then
Mhm.
your IP gets associated with a physical location. And so, once people know your physical location, then they can start doing reverse lookups further on your name and that location, that type of thing, right? And then get even more details, which, because of the way things are in the US, like a lot of data, especially in Florida, a lot of data is public record, and you can get a lot of information about people and then use that. I mean, at this point for me, all my stuff is out there. I like, just last year I had another identity theft
Oh, no.
situation come up that I've had to deal with, and I have like a bunch of services I'm subscribing to and whatnot, and yet it still tends to kind of
Yeah.
happen.
Happen,
But,
yeah.
so that's my thought process behind it, is like, I'm not trying I mean, my data's already out there and exposed, but I'm not trying to make it any
Let it
further
any easier.
exposed, you
Yeah.
know? So,
So, I feel like I should go to a networking class. Are IPs, like, truly unique? Because I thought they were, like there's, like, the IP for, like, a router, and then there's, like, sub paths or IPs or something, I don't know, like, for the actual devices, but then don't you have to have, like, that router IP first? Or, like, my IP is actually legitimately unique in the world?
it like, as I was mentioning before, your internet service provider assigns you an IP that goes to, like, your modem, essentially, and the
Mhm.
modem is the gateway for the rest of your devices on the network, and you use a
Right.
router. The router, um the router's that main interface that's like, "Hey, alright, we have all these devices that are connected to me to create a local area network," and
Mhm.
all of that, like, whatever device you're on, it's exposed to the internet as that same IP address that's been issued to you by your internet service provider, that your modem is the one that's establishing that connection to the main backbone of the internet, type of thing.
Okay.
So, what's happening is your router on at home is doing that 192. Well, I mean, it's different depending on the brand of the router and that type of thing, but pretty
Yeah, what
standard
is
is
yours? Kidding again, sorry.
um
I
But the
apologize.
router, the local network is like it's typically prefixed with like 192.168,
Yeah,
and then whatever you wanna define from there, basically. And then each device gets like 1, 2, 3,
right.
it's get assigning a local. So the IP, if you expose that, that's no big deal, like, whatever that is. But exposing the more public one that is issued to your account that you're using to subscribe to your internet service
Right.
provider, then that poses like it goes either way. I've seen like other security experts that are just like, I don't care that people know my IP. What are they going to do with it? Um, but to me, I err on the side of like I don't want to expose any more information about me and
I
my
don't have
physical
to.
location
Yeah,
than I have to. So does that help? Did that explain it a
I
little
think
bit?
so.
Okay.
Yeah. Frackberg said, or you can be difficult like me and use 10.x.x.x and then cause issues using corporate VPNs.
There is
Sounds like
that.
the way to go. Zamtor says, got to keep your ports closed. I feel
Well,
like,
that's the key point is like your router that's being the main point of contact for your whole network. It should have good firewall rules to
mm,
block off
okay,
anything from coming in and going out. I can
that
go
shouldn't,
I've
yeah.
done a lot of like at home networking type of stuff that networking, we're full circle right there. At
Nice.
home
Yeah.
networking with
Networking.
myself and my dogs. um Building out with devices and stuff like that.
Nice.
So yeah, but having a firewall at home, which your router provides typically,
Hmm.
um, is
Gives
good
you
to
some
help.
layer of protection.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
they're not accessing because constantly, I mean, so if depending on the type of devices you have, you can monitor like who's hitting your IP and like every day, different countries, I'm getting notifications of different
Oh,
country
really?
IPs that are hitting my firewall and trying to like
Huh.
scan for ports. They're trying to see what ports are open, and then
To see
based on
what they
what
can do.
ports are
Yeah.
open, they know what type of attack to try and execute on that
Yeah.
port. It goes pretty wild in
Wow.
depth.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. What's weird is I emailed Twitch support and Twitch support asked me for my IP in response.
That is very weird.
Like really, and it said we won't respond if you don't give us all of these details, including by the way, Zaf on Twitch for the follow. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't have any like overlays and stuff in StreamYard, which is like limitation of StreamYard, but for guests and stuff, I do it here. But thank you for the follow. One thing I do for new follows or people new to the channel goes for people on YouTube as well. Is love to know a little bit about you if you're comfortable sharing. So, what like your favorite tech stack is, how long you've been doing it, and a fun fact about yourself. A fun fact is one of the best conversation starters
Hmm.
I found for meeting random people. And it's
What is your
interesting.
fun fact?
My fun fact is I can solve a Rubik's Cube, and if I'm doing it more often, under a minute, no, about a minute.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I may. Oh, there's one down there. Yeah, if we get enough support in chat, then I'll do a Rubik's Cube.
Ooh, there you go, chat. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. All right, now that we have our IPs covered, so assuming no one can get to this and this, then I should be okay. But
I would still change it afterwards, the password.
yeah, well.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of confusion for me. There's OBS WebSocket JS, and it seems like the documentation for this was made to go with the OBS WebSocket plugin that you needed before version 28.
Yes, but
Are
it
these all
should
things that you know, but it should still work regardless?
I believe so. I'm not
Okay.
so the stuff that I sent you in that Twitter thread, it was just because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to not go the whole route of like having to build like use Webpack or whatever to build my front end. I want everything to run in the client and I'm trying to use it without any imports or stuff like that. So I'm just like straight up referencing from a CDN type of thing, script tags for my purposes. So the way I'm
Mm,
connecting to OBS right now, WebSocket wise, is just raw WebSocket that's available in the browser APIs. So I
okay.
had tried going this route of
Uh-huh.
importing an npm package, but this package for I forget the struggle or the specific situation I ran into, but it was like one of those common JS versus ESM
Yeah.
setups that like blocked me from being able to use it just straight up in the browser without having to have something bundle it for me
Okay.
locally. So I
Okay.
couldn't use it under via CDN or anything
Just
like
the
that,
CDN. Yeah. Okay.
even though
And
it
I
says
think
it
that's true.
right there.
Yeah. Interesting. So I have it, and we may not be able to get anywhere. Like if you haven't used this and other people don't know. It seems like it should be very straightforward. And I mean, follow the directions, you create the new WebSocket, and then somewhere down here actually try to connect.
Mhm.
And I've tried this combination of details into it actually may reference it by IP. I'd have to check. but into like, which may not be a good idea, some sort of client that can test OBS commands. So it's a web page that you can go to. You can put in these details. Again, maybe you shouldn't. And then it has like a drop down of all the different messages that you could send OBS to control it. And anyway, I'm pretty sure those connection details worked.
Okay. Well, one thing that's standing out to me is like, again, it's my lack of recent familiarity with the npm package you're using, the OBS WebSocket one.
Mhm.
Um, do you have to include the protocol WebSocket colon slash slash? Is that what the documentation is pointing out to?
Yeah, let's take a look. So they do here.
They do. Okay. Yeah.
And then if I exclude that, I get an error. And I can show you that in a second. So let me show you if this is auto reloading. So I think this is gonna show what's going on. So this is server sent no sub protocol. I've had this happen several times. It's also interesting that it triggers the connection opened
hmm
callback. So it actually logs this.
hmm
Um, but then it throws an error of socket not identified. By the way, Lavrinity, wonder how you figured out how VS Code is working to write an extension for it. That's something we're going to figure out. One of the things I told Brian is the documentation for creating an extension always felt intimidating to me, and I've kind of avoided it because of that. So we'll see how it goes. But as you have questions, just throw them in the chat. You're totally fine to ask whenever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it hits this callback of connection opened. Um,
Well, I wonder. So one thing that we should start off with is maybe in OBS, turn off for the WebSocket settings that you have in there. Turn off the
mhm.
authentication for now. So
Okay.
that's how
Yeah.
I generally started out.
Yep.
Because when you start turning the authentication on, that's when it adds like a little bit an extra added layer of complexity that was
Yep.
slowing me down when I was trying to figure this out.
Fair enough. So I had done that too, but that's a great place to start. And let me just double check that that actually gets applied. I think it should. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then let's just take out the password. So it looks like the same thing.
All right, so it's still is it when you're establishing the new instance of the OBS WebSocket class? Is that where that's because that's I'm seeing super constructor,
Oh, this stuff in here? Yeah.
so it
It's
must be
just in
happening here.
there.
Do you have to await that maybe?
I do await to get
Oh,
back
okay.
the connection. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that should trigger a callback for any of the other um any of these other things like connection open, which it seems like it does.
Yeah. I would maybe let's look into this error a little bit more. What is server sent no sub protocol? I'm gonna start looking up things on my end too, okay?
Yeah. I tried looking up these as well. Anybody in the chat has experience with this? Please let us know.
Over here so I can see you at the same time. No sub protocol. Like sub protocol, what would that even mean? Because there's just the main protocol, like
As
WebSocket or
WebSocket, yeah.
secure WebSocket, right?
What's interesting in this is they have oh, this is the definition for that function. So it's just saying,
It defaults to that.
oh, this is a default. Okay.
Uh, WebSocket URL to connect to including
Including
protocol. For
protocol.
example, when connecting via proxy that supports HTTPS, use WSS. It also says optional. What if you just drop it? It's going to go to the default one, right?
Yeah, the default.
So just say connect because you didn't change anything. You don't have like a different port.
But it is dependent upon the IP, I think, right?
Well,
So
it's still
same.
localhost, right? Socket not
Well,
identified now.
technically their default is not localhost. It's is is that always the same?
Yeah, so that's the loopback IP address. So what that is your every computer's doing that, where it sets up that IP address as the one that will when a request goes out for that, it just loops back to itself essentially is what that. And localhost is the like think of it as like a top level
Oh, the
domain
domain for that.
alias for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Um so it's saying do not
Yeah.
specify a subprotocol unless the final server closes the connection if one is mandatory. In that case, you have to use a subprotocol that's supported by the server. It's happening when the client sends one or more subprotocols during the handshake.
One or more.
Where
You th- this code isn't being run twice, is it?
it's a good question. Maybe I'm here. I do the same thing, all caps, so it stands out in
I
the
was
log.
I was just gonna make a joke of how terrible this is. Um,
Okay, so you're getting an error somewhere else then?
so just here, because it says connection opened, and that's what's weird. And then we get now where is the log for
That error. Where's that
actually
error
where
log
is that
come from?
error coming from?
Yeah,
Oh, on
on
error
error.
here. Wait, no, it's not because this is socket error. Like just from a what gets logged. Because this is just
Yeah.
saying, do I have another error that's logged? Wait, that's weird.
Yeah. Maybe comment that out for now. See if that changes anything.
Connection error. Connection open. Yeah, actually, where is that coming from? Oh, it may be in here.
It may be in there, the console.log res.
Hmm.
Maybe so one thing I was gonna say is what that I've run into is if I try to call one of those API requests, like or the WebSocket, like send a WebSocket message of like get
Mm-hmm.
seamless, like you're doing on 13. So comment that out too and see. Can I find
The
variable res? That's fine.
yeah, that's just the log.
Yeah.
Huh.
So there we go. So it's something to do with you, even though the connection is open, it's not like fully established yet, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we need to wait until like some other what's the other state that I have in mind that I'm doing?
Wonder if there's another. So when do they have connect? Re-identify. Started. They do dot call.
So await that call. You were doing a wait on that, so that's seems correct. Call batch call.
Is there any
I got mine up
chance?
and running now. So I wait to connect and then I say create the socket. Well, I say new WebSocket, socket.onOpen, and then on message. Maybe we create like an event listener for on messages for that and see what messages OBS is sending back to you from that WebSocket server.
That's a good idea. This is also interesting. I don't know if it finishes this connect.
That's why I'm wondering because I don't unless that connect is the library or package saying that it is an async. Yeah, because in the docs
It's a returns a
it's a
promise.
promise.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Huh. And then you said, I think I had this at some point. I don't know if I still do or not. The on message. Mm. Is it just on message? You know?
I'm gonna look it up. I don't know off the top of my head.
Doesn't seem to recognize that one.
By the way, so this library they're using is made by the folks that like made the official OBS WebSocket that is built into the OBS project. So I don't.
Okay.
I know you were kind of thinking there might be some concern about
Hmm.
compatibility, but it should be fine in that
Okay.
regard.
Cool.
Um,
Tony, what's going on? Hello, mate. I can't remember. I may have been on stream. I think I did a lot of this work after finishing a stream or something, trying to get this to work.
Yep.
Identified. So what are the, does it have a reference to all of the callbacks?
I'm looking up right now. Actually, I'm going to move you over here.
We
Feel like a roller coaster for you?
do. Speaking of Orlando.
So yeah, in their sample code, they're like, okay, import OBS WebSocket, create a new instance of that class, OBS Connect. I wonder.
Yeah, I don't think this is getting, like, I don't think it's actually finishing, which is weird because it triggers.
Do you have to add that RPC version? So if you go back to the README of the package, right after connecting, it's like it's in comments. It's like a complete example. Down
RPC.
more. Down. Right there. That's like a complete example of like connecting to that URL with that password, and then it passes in that RPC version 1. And then it's like, okay, you are connected to the server with that WebSocket version using RPC version this,
Just copy that whole thing.
I say, yeah, let's run with that. They're expecting that to work that way, so it should do the same for you.
Oh, somebody's saying I could tag you in my title. That's a good idea.
What does that do?
I assume they'll just have a link to find you. Yeah.
I do want to try. So depending on how far we get with this, and if you want to do follow-ups or something like that, I do want to try it. And that's what I was pinging you about. I haven't tried yet on Twitch that whole guest star thing.
And do you have to be an affiliate to do it?
I don't think so.
There was some reason I thought I couldn't do it, and I thought it might have been an affiliate.
Yeah.
So I was an affiliate for a long time, and then I gave it up so that I could stream to YouTube at the same time. And then now I want to be an affiliate again, and I meet all the criteria, but they're not like, that's what I reach out to support about. I don't think they have any way to know to like give me the chance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe do you have a point of contact that you were talking with when you asked to get it revoked for your account?
No, I feel like that wasn't a support thing. I don't remember exactly what I did, but
okay. That's unfortunate.
yeah,
that's gotta be, but they shouldn't need your IP address for that.
I didn't think so.
Feels really weird.
Roland, sorry, on YouTube. What are we building? Well, we're trying to do an integration with Twitch chat and then OBS. So basically be able to control things in OBS from code. Phil is saying, and then we're also going to explore potentially doing some of that with VS Code, which would be cool.
Yep.
And Phil is saying, doesn't the URL need to start with WS instead of WSS for local host? Well, we weren't, in this case, we were just taking the default.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that was the problem or not. David says, hello, looks like it's sent from the OBS WebSocket to a newly connected client. Meaning, so that's an incoming message that it should send. I still didn't see. So if I did obs.on and then IntelliSense here, I don't know. Oh, there's a hello there. Okay. I love GitHub Copilot.
I know,
and then,
man.
Sorry. Yeah, it can write my code all day long. So the only problem is this won't match.
Right. So just change the IP on that to just say localhost or the 127.0.0.1.
Do I keep the WebSocket there too?
Yes. Yeah, keep that there.
And then just an empty string for password if auth is turned off.
Yeah.
And then why is this yelling? That's fine. You can be of type unknown.
Right. Failed to connect. Server sent no subprotocol again.
But it's weird that it triggers. It's really weird that it triggers this connection. Where was it? This one.
Yeah. So it's like what's happening is
Jordan.
it's
Sorry.
what's happening it's all good. I understand. It's like opening the connection and then it's like no, no more. You know what I mean? Like something's going wrong after the connection gets opened.
I guess so. How is there so when in yours where you do like just regular WebSocket protocol, um, is there like a back and forth you have to do, or do you just send one initial WebSocket connection?
Yeah, the back and forth that I have to do is because of the auth part. So like I say create a new raw WebSocket using the browser API,
Mm-hmm.
and then I listen for messages, and then if the message contains an authentication property and an opcode OP equals
Mm-hmm.
0, I'm looking at it right now, then that to me is indicating that authentication is required, and then I have to send a message on that WebSocket connection doing this whole handshake that it provides a
Mm-hmm.
salt and a challenge, and then you gotta hash it and all that. That's where I ran into a headache of trying to figure that out.
Okay.
Um, but the key is the payload, um, but I would imagine that this library that you're using is handling that
Yeah,
automatically behind the
absolutely.
scenes. So, you get to avoid a lot of that. But yes, there is this whole handshake that has to happen
Okay.
where after I make the first request to join the connection, it sends a
Yeah, do a
message
few
as a new
things.
client, you know?
Yep.
I just heard an alert go off. That was you?
I don't think so. What was it?
I don't know why that would have
I
happened. That just freaked me out a little bit. It sounded like a Twitch alert, though. I
don't
thought it
know.
was you. Alright.
I don't think
Anyway,
so.
moving on.
Stony said, "What's up to you?" By the way,
Hey, Stoney, good to
or
see you.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Glad
Stony's
you're
been a
streaming.
big encouragement for me of like getting back into streaming.
Nice. That's
Been
good to
sending me
hear.
lots of encouraging messages and advice and learnings. As I get back into Twitch, I realized I forgot everything I knew about streaming from like 2 years ago.
It's not like it seems like it's like riding a bike, but it really isn't. Because anytime I'm gone for a while too, like, I
Yeah.
feel super rusty, but yep.
Jordan is saying he just followed you. Maybe that was a notification.
Oh, maybe. Well, thank you for the follow. Oh, you
I'm
know what? I have
sure.
OBS open on my end too because I'm practicing doing the
Okay, the
connection
same
in
thing.
this
Yeah.
project.
So yeah,
That
that's probably what it was.
That makes sense. My bad. So yeah, so I'm doing this raw connection with it, but I wonder
The
maybe
server.
maybe I could spin up something locally quick using Node instead of in the browser to try and connect to because I've done that before. Do I have another project that I've done that? I used to have a bot that I would run as part of my stream that I can maybe reference there that I think is using this library actually. So let me go double check that too. Sorry, I felt like I'd be way more help, but this error that you're
Well,
running into is weird.
that's
So,
how. I mean, it makes it. It's validating to me because I swear I spent like 2 hours trying to do this, and I was like mind blown that I couldn't figure it out.
yeah,
So yeah, Sony
but
said he's
I'm
just showing me
determined.
around. Okay, so I'm glad to have someone that's motivated because I'm exhausted by it.
I got you. We're gonna figure this out. Let me see if I'm using this library, albeit
Michael
probably an
Moore on
older version.
YouTube. What's going on, Michael? We
Yeah, I mean,
are trying to get the socket connection to work. So what we're doing for anyone that's joined in the last couple minutes, we're trying to basically from code be able to control OBS. So OBS is a software used for streaming, and you can potentially like switch scenes or change cameras or something like that. And I think it'll just be cool to have some neat interactions with the chat from Twitch. But to do that, we have to be able to connect to OBS and not able to successfully connect to it yet, which kind of sucks. Fail to connect -1. So I wonder WebSocket JS error -1.
all right. So I
Oh,
found
this
it in my
is.
old chat bot that's using version 5 of this library, which I imagine
I think
the
that's
most
yeah, I
latest
think that's
one.
what I'm on.
Okay, so I do have that. I'm gonna send
Yep.
this to you so you can start looking at it, but it's essentially the same as what you got when I look at the whole file of that class
Yeah.
of how I'm connecting with it. It's the same thing. I create a
Okay.
new instance of the OBS WebSocket class in the constructor of this OBS handler class that I have. And then I have an init function. And then there I call this connect to OBS, which just does exactly what you're doing, obs.connect.
By the way, just looking at the docs on npm,
Mhm.
it says rejects with connection error, either matching OBS WebSocket close code or with code -1 when a non-compatible server is detected.
Maybe. All right. What version of OBS are you on? Maybe you are right about the compatibility thing, but it might be a compatibility between which version.
This is 30.
Oh, you should be fine. What do I have? Yeah, I'm on 30.0. I'm on the same one.
And did you just run that code locally? Does it work?
No, I didn't run that locally.
Okay.
I wonder if there's more details on the WebSocket server settings. Your UI, by the way, when you go to the WebSocket setting, go in there in OBS, yeah, your UI is different. Well, actually, no, you have the show connection. Do the show. Hide your screen because it might expose your actual IP.
Yep. This one.
All right, and then when you click show connect info, it does like server IP best guess.
Yes.
That should be like your local network IP address. I wonder if you can change that. No, I don't think you can change it. It's just like it's binding to your local address, basically. Does that look familiar to you? Whatever you're seeing, does it look familiar to you? Is that like the IP on your local network of your machine that you're currently on?
How would
For
I
me,
know?
that does.
I don't know. Like if I go into a terminal and I do like IP config or something,
you should be able to see that there, that same IP address in that results of what you in your terminal shows.
Oh, is there a wait? Oh, apparently you don't just run the command ipconfig. You
might be if
have
config
to pass if config
/all. You're on Mac, right? What is it on Mac? I forget. Oh, we lost him. What just happened? Why is it just me? Or did he click something? Oh, shoot. Did he just like reset his? He might have reset his Clarkio stream. Hey, May, good to see you. I'm not hosting the stream, Stony. I'm just in his stream elements. Not stream elements, StreamYard instance. He might have done a command. Okay, did you just like reset your internet or something?
No, I didn't. I don't. My internet's been doing weird things.
Oh, okay. I got worried that you might have done something in the terminal with your.
It's like just wiped out all IP addresses or something.
Yes, and I was like, I hope I didn't steer him in the wrong direction.
Internet or something with command. Yeah, I think that would be funny. So the command you run is rf or rm space /rf and then come back and yeah. So if I run ifconfig, where would you? Are you on a Mac?
I have a Mac next to me that I can do this on. So
all right, let me
yes.
check IP. Ian, look at those two handsome bearded dev dudes. I'll take it.
I think if you just do if config, that should be fine. And then in there, let me see, where would it be under? There's different networking interfaces that it lists out there. So EN0. So look for that on the left-hand side. And then you should see an iNet field. And in that iNet field should be the IP address that should show up in your OBS. Again, this is just being ultra thorough. It shouldn't be necessary necessarily.
No, I mean, I think we need to. Okay, so you're saying EN0. What does EN0 refer to, by the way?
The networking interface, your Ethernet networking interface.
Okay.
On that device, that computer.
Okay.
And then iNet is the IP address on the network.
But I'm not connected to Ethernet though.
Oh, you're wireless. Okay, so then it should. I'm wireless on this one, so it should be fine. So maybe not Ethernet. Maybe I'm not again. I'm not like an expert in networking stuff, but it should be EN0:, and then there's a bunch of stuff like options, Ether,
and then
iNet 6, iNet, and then you should see in the iNet.
Okay, so So yes, that what's in where you just told me is the same as what's in OBS WebSocket settings.
Okay, good. All right. Now close out of all that stuff so you don't accidentally show it on screen. And now we know for sure that everything's looking up to par with what we would expect there.
Darren said to look for Ethernet entry. I thought that was what you were
Mhm.
looking at, right? EN0.
Yep. And your server port is 4455, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know stupid questions, but just again, be very thorough. Is the plugin settings like it's a WebSocket server is enabled?
Yeah, so at the top of I can share this again.
You should be able to share that, yeah.
Yeah. I have to reshare my screen because I kicked myself out earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's good. So
I
on
saw
here,
StreamYard put like my whole camera up, and I was like, "This doesn't seem right. What happened here?" You know, I'm like,
this is your time.
yeah. All right, so yeah, that looks
So
fine.
at the top, enable WebSocket server is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that
I
looks
don't have
good.
debug logging. I don't know.
I don't have that checked, but maybe that could
Okay.
help. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Zermal on Twitch, welcome in. We are trying to do some stuff. We'll see if we get there. I don't know. We're looking around. Darren says, be mindful. I'm a filthy Windows user, but the network fundamentals apply. Fair enough. Also, Roll Awake on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for joining in. For people that join in for the first time and or follow, love to know some information about you if you're comfortable with it. What's your favorite tech stack? How long have you been doing it? And what's a fun fact about yourself? I didn't ask you actually. I did mine. What is yours?
I don't know. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. I don't know. I'm not that interesting of a person. That's my fun fact.
That's your fun fact, is that you're extremely boring.
I'm a boring vanilla person.
I could see it. I could see it.
Thanks.
Rolo came here from YouTube. Nice.
So yeah, I feel like that should be working. Maybe we start from a clean slate. Let's look at all of your code that you got.
By the way, Darren said, fresh out of boot camp in the UK, grokking my way through Next.js 14. When people use grokking like that, is that like grok like terminal command? Or is that like a whole new like separate?
No, like understanding, like gathering and comprehending
Figure it out.
information.
Yeah. Is that related to the grok command? Like, is that where it comes from?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know. It might.
Yeah. I assume so, just because grok is such a unique thing. I imagine it, and I feel like I hear people in dev space say this. So,
are you talking about like ngrok, that tool? What is it?
Well, I'm talking about the grok like bash command.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Bash grok, which is for. Let's see, what is it? I don't even know. Easily parse logs and other files.
I got you. Yeah.
Does anyone's work first time? No. Also, Next.js 14, nice. I have a project that the community Learn Build Teach. We have a specific channel on a Next.js 14 project that people are contributing to. If you're interested and want to learn more, it's pretty cool. Grok is Elon's hallucinations. That's got to be it.
I wasn't laughing at what you were talking about. That sounds awesome. I was laughing.
Got to be funny.
At CD's comment. Can you double check again? I know, stupid question.
No, do it.
The package version that you got of of OBS WebSocket?
Darren, if you're interested, here actually, I think the bot is running, so we should be able to do this. So that should send you the link to the Discord. The project is called Deals for Devs. I can grab a link to the project if you want to, but you can. Well, actually, hold on. Let me grab it real quick so you can have it. GitHub and Deals for Devs. I think this is the old URL, but it'll redirect. If it's something you're the least bit interested in, you can join the Discord and DM me, and then I can add you to the private channel that we have. Do a live share in VSC. Yeah, I can do that. You want to try that? Live share?
Yeah, we could do that.
That I don't know if that like. Let's see.
Let me get that installed real quick.
Oh, so back to your original question. The package version is 5.0.5. I've wondered, like, if I just downgrade, like maybe they have some recent bug or something.
Yeah, maybe. So the one that I have in mind is, where is it again?
That's a good
I have
place to
too
start.
many. I have, it was like 5.0.1,
Okay.
if I recall correctly.
Now, if you were to
And
downgrade an npm package, how would you do it?
I'm at 5.0.2.
Okay.
Um,
Would you update this string to not caret and then 5.0.2 and then npm install? Would you uninstall and then npm install at 5.0.2?
I'd probably uninstall and then
No.
npm install at 5.0.2.
For me, OBS. Install
By the way, I love the
OBS.
deals for devs thing that you all did, especially around the holidays when I was like looking up
Yeah.
to see what was going on with that.
Well,
Hyphen
that's what
WebSocket.
like which part?
A hyphen
WebSocket.
between WebSocket and JS. Yep. And
Okay.
then at.
5.0.2.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so that was just like kind of a fun side project, and then it got a lot more traffic than I realized. Because what happened was, a friend of mine, Jesse Code Stacker YouTube channel,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have an affiliate link, and I've had one for a long time to his VS Code course, and he shared his course with my affiliate link. I didn't even know, and then I kept seeing like $20 in referral, $20 in referral, $20, and it happened. I mean, I probably made like three or $400 like out of nowhere.
Nice.
And I was like, well, this is obviously getting some traffic. So we're just gonna build it into a platform and have it be like an ongoing thing for people. So
It's fantastic. I love it.
yeah.
Yep.
Thanks. I'm
It's
glad.
super helpful to
Good.
like find courses or find different tools. It's almost
Mhm.
like it's kind of like, how people have different uses on their own website. It's kind of like that,
Yeah.
but like more
Yeah.
more tailored to this stuff.
Yep.
David in the chat was asking what version of OBS you're running. It's
Version.
30.0.2, David.
Yeah. Did you
So
take notes on that, or did you just remember the 0.0.2?
I remembered. I
Okay.
remembered it matched mine, and I can see mine is that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep.
I was looking in the wrong place. So this is under where
About
wait,
OBS.
about yeah. Yes. 0.0.2.
Yeah. So that's all fine. It should have it's using the built-in WebSocket server now that's built into that version of OBS.
Yep.
Um, I kind of want to just wipe I just get rid of
I'm
all that
good.
code,
Yeah.
delete it
Whatever.
all,
That's
and
fine with
then
me. Okay.
take the
So let's go.
example from the README.
All right, let's do a thing. Start from scratch. Let's go back here. Now, do you want to just start with like basic connection?
I
Oh,
want
we need to have
the
this
one that's
part first,
down. Yes, you do need that.
and
I want the one that's
then
down further though. It's like a complete example right there.
I just connected mine with 30.0.2 and package
No auth.
5.0.5. No auth.
Yeah. You're not
David, do you
running in
have
like a container or anything, right? Or like what?
me?
Yeah,
No.
like dev container or something like that. Okay. This is just straight up. This project is right on the same machine as OBS is running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
David, if you want to send me, I assume your code looks kind of just like this. If you want to send me your code in Discord, I can copy it over. Maybe try restarting OBS. We could definitely try that. So why don't we run this? And then what I need to do is change
That to
this to
localhost.
localhost.
Maybe just get rid of the whole password field completely because I know we sent it as an empty string last time.
Yeah, well, I was wondering about that. So because it expects this third argument to be this thing. So how do you have to send something, right? For
Maybe
password?
undefined. Maybe yeah. Or we could always just put the password back in there. Yeah, try undefined for now though.
Have y'all tried 127.0? So that's the alias for localhost or whatever. So we can try that
Yeah,
next.
that's the loop back address. Yep, we could try that next.
So bun watch source next. Okay,
Still
so that
failed
says
to
the
connect.
same thing, right?
All right, try
And
the
then just trying a few different things. Empty string,
Same thing.
nothing. And then also, it
120.
doesn't always like localhost. It's finicky in my experience. The Scott's Dev or Scott's Mav, excuse me, also said sometimes it likes no auth, sometimes not, and then OBS can be a bit funky, not always saving the details properly. I did notice that, and I don't know if you noticed me doing that, but I changed something and then I opened it back up to make sure it had changed to
Oh, okay.
confirm.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
So
Oh,
one
hey,
point, what happened?
did that work?
Oh, that's a random. Sometimes
Oh,
there's some sort of message that comes from Twitch that it can't parse.
oh, I got you. Okay.
I love
I was
the
like, that
excitement
looked
though. Thank
different
you.
though. I was like, it looked different. We got a different result. We're making progress.
Isn't that hilarious how it's like, I'll take anything other than what I've been saying.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try this. Same
Damn.
thing. J Barrios on YouTube, what's going on? Yeah, so we're working on trying to be able to like control OBS through JavaScript. So eventually we'll tie that into Twitch commands coming in. But yeah, in the meantime, we're just trying to get a connection to OBS to work, and it's just
We're
not.
literally using the code minus the address that's in the example. I don't see
Yeah.
why this would
And
not
then
work.
if we go back to also try this, like this is one we tried earlier where we just take the defaults.
Yeah.
JB, this would be exciting if it worked. This is the code. So this is slightly different because it's using require. This is the code that David Kennedy used, which actually I can use require in here because I'm in bun. So I can use require and import. So this should potentially work. I don't know that this is any different than anything I've had. I actually couldn't quite tell. Was that just a bigger, longer error? Yeah. So basically the same thing. I wonder who is the server in this case? Is the server OBS?
Yes.
So OBS sent no sub protocol?
Yeah. And you said
And
you've closed OBS and reopened it before, right?
not this time. So let's do that. Also, Scottsmav suggested potentially
You can use that. Yeah,
using
that
local
local.
network address.
You could do that.
So we could try
You're not
that too.
exposing anything by doing that. That's just your local address. It's not your public IP.
So enable WebSocket, authentication disabled. It's restarted. Do you see this like
Flickering?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, also the one other thing that I did do that I think I fixed, but I don't know. Before I knew that the WebSocket stuff was built into this version of OBS, I did install the plugin.
Oh, that might be it.
And you can help me, maybe I missed something. Then I searched on how to remove an OBS plugin, and I can go show you what I did, and I did that. So I don't think that plugin is there anymore.
Okay.
But I can see obviously that could have had a potential issue.
Yes, that would definitely, because it would be that might be why it's thinking that you're sending a sub protocol. Maybe there's two different instances of the server that's running OBS WebSocket server, you know? But the way you remove that is wherever you installed OBS, there's two areas you got to go.
2 areas.
Yes, there's two. So let me look them up. They should map fairly similarly. I'm on Windows for my OBS setup here, but it should be very similar.
Yeah, so they were in. What? That's not all I wanted. Oh, this is still in file search. So in.
So there should be like an OBS-studio folder somewhere, wherever the app is installed.
Should I uninstall Slobs?
Yes, because Streamlabs is an awful company, and
I have learned that yeah, I did not know that, and then I don't actually know a whole lot of the details, but I've heard that from several people.
yeah, not getting into the weeds of that, but yeah. Plus, their software is like they hijack the OBS stuff and start. There's whole kinds of backstories with them. Lots of incidences with them where they just didn't do right by people. But yeah, I don't know
Several
that
comments supporting that as well.
Yeah.
right now.
There we go. 'Cause I'm glad I'm not alone in that. But that potentially I would uninstall it because not because of all that, but I mean, yes, because of that, but more so because of, maybe it has
Potentially
an instance of
competing.
OBS WebSockets that might be
And
although you're not running it, so I would think it's not spinning up the like a WebSocket server for that
yeah,
would interfere, so
well, that is gone if I get down and actually empty the
I
trash.
bye-bye, suckers.
Okay, so that's gone. Now the place I ended up is in users in my root directory, library, application support, OBS Studio, and then there's a plugins directory, and then there's no reference in here. I have the Stream Deck plugin, and I have the OBS multi RTMP plugin.
Okay.
Xanthor, I'm not using Streamlab OBS. I am using OBS. I had installed based on what I had done 2 years ago. I realized, oh, I used to use Streamlabs OBS. I can use that again, having no concept for any of these details. So it was installed on my machine, but I've been using OBS.
Alright, so you're in the library. I'm looking it up on macOS. I think you're in the you're in the correct spot. Well, is there anything else in that folder? No, you did, the
Mm-mm.
LA.
And then back here,
Oh, yeah, plugins.
that's where I was.
Oh, that's where you were?
And then I
Okay.
did like plugin config. There's only OBS browser, RTMP, and text free type, which I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Profiler data. I don't know what that is.
No, that seems about right. There's usually 2 places, so if you got them in both places, then you should be
Well, I don't know. So I only removed something from plugins. I don't know what the second one would be.
yeah, I'm not familiar with it on Mac. On OBS, for Windows, um, and again, I stream on Windows because it's just a beefier computer for me to handle streaming and doing other stuff. Um, there's the OBS plugins folder, and then there's a data folder, which then has an OBS plugins folder within it, and that's where I need to remove it from too if I'm gonna
Hmm.
or add it if I'm installing a plugin too. So those are the 2 locations on
Yeah.
Windows. I don't know how that correlates to macOS, but I did like a chat GPT of that, and it says library application support OBS. And then
Thank you,
n
ChatGPT.
yeah, and that was it. So
Okay.
I think that was
So
a
I
great
mean,
result.
yeah,
I gotta
we
hop on a
could.
my
Oh
my
yeah,
wife's calling real quick, so if you just give me a minute, I'll be right back.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Cool. Um, JB is asking, did you have to fork OBS, or is the repo specific to building out plugins? I'm not sure what you mean, JB. Scotsmav. By the way, Scotsmav, is this your first time here? If it is, welcome. Glad to have you. And you said plugin should be about it. Think that's where it's looking to initialize everything. Haven't looked at source and eons. Yeah. So we think we're on the right track. If I can I uninstall OBS completely and start from scratch? Will I lose all my overlay stuff?
You'd need to back them up, and that's fairly quick and easy. So I would back
Okay.
up your there's 2 things you should back up, your scene collection and your profile.
Okay. Is that
So,
that looks like it's inside of this basic directory.
potentially, but you could do it from OBS itself too.
Okay.
So if you open up OBS and you go to the top menu options there's profile, and
Mm-hmm.
you could say export.
Export. Okay.
So that the profile is everything that's like how you connect to Twitch and all that fun stuff and like
Mm-hmm.
how you laid out the UI. That's what the profile holds for you.
Okay.
So save that wherever feels appropriate. And then if you go to the top again and you go to scene
Scene
collection
collection.
and
Export as
export
well.
that, and
Nice.
that's what holds all your scenes and stuff. Now, what will be a little wonky, although it should be fine because you're using the same device, but like if you're switching between machines, like your whatever you're using for a mic all your external devices
Yeah.
might show up kind of differently. You might need to reconnect those into your sources in the scenes, but other than that, it shouldn't be any
Okay.
other
Yep.
work.
So let me just double check. By the way, first, Scott or the Scott's Mav. Sorry, I'm reading multiple things. First stream joining here today, but comments on your YouTube video yesterday. We talked about native JS. I still have that comment in my email to respond to, with the notification about it to respond to. But cool, yeah, that's great to have you join from another platform. Good to be a little more connected.
And then J Barrios, it's a blank project that we want to connect to the OBS WebSocket too.
Yep. What did right? So I'll save this to my desktop. I see the scenes one. Any idea what the profile thing would have been called? The scenes one is OBS scenes, which is helpful.
I think you had it set up as untitled collect. It should just be untitled.
Oh, okay. So that ended
Should
up
be like
being
dot.
a
It's like a
directory.
separate. Yeah, it's its own file extension. It should be.
So there's an untitled directory, and then there's a basic INI, and then service.json, and the service.json has like restream information. So I assume that's it.
That's for the So that's for the profile. So that's
Yep.
good. And
And
then
then the
scene collection.
OBS scenes is just a JSON file.
Okay, yes, that should be right. Just double check
Okay.
and look at the contents of that. Make sure it shows your scenes that you're used to seeing. This is fun. I'm learning how
I
OBS is
know,
working
right?
on Mac OS.
Yes. Okay, I can see those things.
Perfect.
Send a command via Discord, which may help see if the server is running. All right, David, I'm trusting you. When people tell you to run commands on their machine.
Well, if you all of a sudden cut out and my camera goes full screen again.
Okay, the first is just okay. I think I feel comfortable doing that. So OBS. I don't think I showed this part on the screen. I'm still here, right? You with me?
Yeah,
today?
yeah. I'm laughing at this. Somebody said just make sure to type sudo first.
All right, so this shows I have two things running for OBS, and one of them is referencing *:4455,
Okay.
which I think is what he said in here. So the service name or whatever is OBS, and then it's a TCP port, and it's *:4455,
Okay.
which seems to match what David sent me.
Okay. That's good.
And now
Glad
he's
that-
mining Bitcoin on your Mac. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rolo said users username library. Oh, there's another directory. Hold on. So I can bring this over here so we can see. So you're saying username library, and then is there an OBS directory inside of here? I think you may have just missed the application support, because I don't have inside of library. I don't have OBS, but I did have OBS Studio under application support under library. That makes sense. Okay.
Mav was saying they moonlight as a part-time dev for streaming bot. Usually it's making sure OBS save things correctly, then use network IP rather than localhost or the loopback. Okay. Then it's make sure there's no port collisions. But if it's not connecting after all that, I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, this is a really weird. That's why I
Yeah.
think, I hate going to this point, but like completely wiping out OBS, reinstalling it from scratch would be my next step. It's that, or it's like some unique configuration, like network configuration for your device that might be
Stopping it.
stopping it or doing something with that.
Yeah. I'm good with it. This is also will have taken up all of our time, which
I'm
is
okay
fine.
with. Yeah, we can do another time, or we can do off stream. I'm
Yeah.
down. I'm super. I love working on this type of
Yeah.
stuff. So like, and just having a reason to pair,
Yep.
it's always fun for me. So,
Agreed.
yeah, I'm down.
So So the way I uninstall things is to go into applications on a Mac and just delete the application.
I thought you RF.
Oh, we go to the root of the whole computer.
No, I was joking. You were saying RM. Remember your joke
I
you made
know. No,
earlier?
I was with you. You
No,
think I was really gonna do it?
I don't know. I didn't pick up on what you were following up with there. My bad. I
Yeah.
messed up my own joke
We
there.
gotta work on our humor.
Yeah, we
We're
gotta.
not. I don't think we've done this enough to like quite get it.
Yeah, we're close though. We're close.
We're getting there. It's
Right there.
time. So is anyone like on a Mac? Is there anything other? Mac is magic to me. I think you just delete the application. Is my understanding. That's what
I
I've
believe.
always done. So
Same. Yep.
boop. The application OBS is hosting system extensions. Hosting system extensions. Do you really want to do that? That's interesting. C. See if that bites me in the ass. Okay, no more OBS.
Maybe
Let
that
me
was something that was going on there. You know?
that it was hosting these other extensions. Maybe.
Yeah.
No library. I want to go back to see if that directory is still there.
It looked like it.
So OBS Studio is still there. It does still have. So maybe it may just not get rid of these things.
Yeah.
Logs, plugin config, profiler data. Yeah. Okay.
Might need to get rid of that too.
To just wipe out that whole directory, you think?
I'm kind of leaning that way because I'm wondering if there's something in there.
There's just something hidden in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there. And then this is where we actually get to use. But this is a specific directory, not doing the whole computer.
Zamthor is saying you will lose all your configs.
Yeah, those are the
have-
things we saved off too, right?
Well, we saved your profile information, and we saved your scene collection, which to me is the most important things that
Yeah.
I want to use between different.
That's good for me. We'll figure it out. It's worth a shot.
We got a raid?
We got a raid from Ellie Zub. Remember I mentioned the project earlier, the Deals for Devs project?
Yeah, yeah.
Ellie is contributing to that as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, welcome, Ellie. I got to meet her at that conference in Texas, which was fantastic. And she's another dev looking for first job who is also amazing. There's a lot of amazing people from that conference, Texas, including Sarah Shook and Jason Torres. And anybody else from that conference in there? Anyway, yeah, really amazing people, tons of fun at the event, and really cool to see what all those people are doing post event. Stony
awesome.
said I should shout out her name. I was in the process of typing that, Stony, because I'm becoming used to being a Twitcher, and I was already there. So, but thanks for the reminder. I appreciate it. Oh, JB on YouTube is commenting. He was there in 2022, not this last one, but in 2022.
Nice.
And
Oh,
Jordan,
cool.
yes, thank you. Yeah, really,
Very, very cool.
amazing event and so many people. So Stoney said he can't do it for me. Matthias, I feel like my title is misleading now because we haven't done any VS Code stuff because we haven't moved past the one thing that we wanted to get first. So we'll see if we get there.
Yeah.
Right now, Matthias, we're trying to get from Twitch to OBS to control things in OBS. So that's, I think, also interesting, hopefully. So sorry, OBS. Okay, so that's gone. Darn clickbait. I know. I promise I wasn't intentional. Let's see. Okay, so let's go to download OBS. Yes. Yeah, Scottsmav has got it nailed there.
OBS is like it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because it's phenomenal at what it does, but there's just so much to it that it can be complex at the same time.
All right, let's see. Oh my gosh.
Whoa,
Jason,
hey now.
That's intense.
Yeah, that went to a whole nother level.
But everybody's got some version of that same message though, like in the chat, just differently phrased. As you say, there's so many moving parts. Yeah. Access granted, all the things. I'm starting to get sick, I think, and I'm really upset about it, by the way.
No. What do you think
Yeah.
you're getting? The
Just a
rest of the family
cold.
sick?
No, I don't think so. Just a cold. But the worst part is Jess is about to go out of town to London, and I
Oh,
am
yeah.
gonna be home
Solo
with
parenting.
baby for
Mhm.
the first time. And if I'm sick, that's not gonna be any
Right.
fun. But I can feel it like in my nose and throat, and I'm very upset about it. Ugh.
Well, I hope you don't. Ho like, what is it? Vitamin C, that type of stuff? I don't know,
Mhm.
whatever you do or feel
Whatever,
is
yeah.
appropriate for you and your body. I'm not a doctor, but I just, like, chug Emergency or
Yeah.
or,
I
Airborne
need to go get
sometimes.
some, yeah.
Yeah, when I feel that stuff coming on, it
Yep.
usually helps get ahead of it. So
Jason said he got dark, sorry, OBS haunts him. Yeah, this is definitely been a rough sick season for me. Like, having a baby, I've been more sick this year, and we just had a stomach bug, like, a week and a half ago, where we were both completely out for a day, and it sucked.
Oh, get used to it.
I know, I know, I know. Darren said, "When will Baby Quick make a Twitch stream appearance?" She's been on stream plenty, actually, a lot, because I end up having her for whatever reason. Okay, one thing that's curious here. This says OBS tried to load new system extensions. If you want to enable these extensions, open your system settings. I don't know what your system is.
Mm.
I don't know. Okay, so system software from application OBS was blocked from loading.
I'll allow that, I guess. Maybe was that something that you didn't
I have no idea. I don't know.
before?
I just love the blind faith we have in like downloading software, because it didn't tell me like OBS wants to access this. It's
Right.
just like, give me access, and we're like, yeah, you can have it. That's cool.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, was there anything else in here though? Oh, damn it, that's not what I meant to go to. There's all my devices if anybody cares. Well, hopefully that's all that there was. So, optimize for streaming, recording is
You could
secondary. Yes. And I think I just did auto config for this stuff
Well,
anyway.
you have your profile that has that information, so I would cancel out of this.
And just
You could if you really want to, you can always trigger this wizard to happen again
okay.
later on.
So
So
just
this is just
cancel.
yeah, it's just a default thing that it does.
Okay.
The good
And
thing is it's
then
already picking up your mic and stuff like that, so it's got that
we
stuff.
yeah.
So then you can go import scene collection and then wherever you
Comic file. You can
would you like to
sure. Oh, there's Streamlab references. No.
Oh,
This is old stuff actually. So none of those are what I
I
want.
wonder how it got that though,
It
Maybe
must
it
be
just scanned
some
your
yeah. Where did that go?
It's very confusing UI, I'll tell you that much. So you hit that, and then you gotta add, like, a new one and click the 3 dots there on that new row. Yeah,
Okay.
and then
I
go
don't
to
know what else
location.
is on my desktop. I don't think it's anything personal, but I'll move it away just in case. Then I have to select this one
Yep, and then
and
click add.
import
Or yeah,
or
import, sorry, you're right. So now you have your scene collections that you had before, right? Which
no.
that doesn't look right, yeah. Did it go through okay? Oh, go to untitled too. So when you opened up OBS, it gives you that yeah, there you go. There you go.
Aha.
So
It's
I would
me.
rename that to be, like, your actual scene collection so you don't confuse untitled with untitled.
Where does that name come from?
I think it like, OBS just does it automatically for you. Oh, there's a rename there, sorry.
See, I don't even see it. Okay, sorry. Scene selection. Okay.
Perfect, and then you wanna get your profile as well, so profile import, and you're gonna point it to that folder from where you have that.
Does the profile already exist? I mean, it already has profile already exists.
Oh yeah, because again, when you open up, you see how you're on untitled. That's what OBS just
Uh-huh.
calls it. So rename that one to like I don't know, OBS default or
Oh.
whatever,
Oh.
and then you can import your untitled one from the previous instance of OBS.
Rename. Gotcha. I'm curious where this goes. Jason Torres says, "You know what's great about OBS? Please enlighten me. I'm sure there's no way this can go wrong."
There you go. Now click on untitled, and that's your profile. All right, there you go. Everything should be good to go, other than having to log into like all that stuff for
All
you.
the things. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So now
So
let's
now
come back
in
to that stuff. Then
tools,
go tool.
WebSocket server settings. Everything looks good. It's probably a different password, I would think now, but let's uncheck that.
Let's
Yeah.
disable.
And
Enable.
enable. Hit
And
OK.
I don't know if you have to hit apply or not. And then again, sometimes, oh no, that didn't work. So I'm just going to double check. Okay. It looks enabled.
Awesome. All right. Fingers crossed. Drum roll, please.
Oh gosh. This is too much pressure because what happens if like, you,
If
you
it's
ever like,
still,
you ever feel like you're down to like the one thing you're like, this must be it. And you're so excited. And then it just like, it's no again. Like that's so defeating.
I'm very scared
I know.
for that to be the
Me
case
too.
right now.
All right. One. Do I have a drum roll sound effect? I gotta do somewhere. I gotta get used to all this stuff. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I heard it.
Nice. Save.
No.
Same fucking thing. Jesus.
What is
Oh my
going on?
gosh.
I'm determined to figure this out, James. And like, I'm not gonna sleep tonight because this is ridiculous.
This is gonna be a total of like 4 or 5 hours I've tried.
All right. I'm going to chat GPT now at this point. OBS WebSocket JS. Can you show me that error again?
Did you see what Jason Torres is? He said, "You know what's great about OBS?" And then we made our comments. He said, "No, that's the question. I have no idea."
Oh.
Error is failed to connect -1 server sent no subprotocol. Scott's Math is saying we can try the local network IP. Now remind me, is that the one I'm not supposed to share?
You can share it. The one that you don't want to share is your public IP address, in my
Okay.
opinion. Some
So
people.
how do I find my local network IP?
But when you went into OBS and you did the WebSocket server settings, you can say show connection info in there and show connect info.
And that's okay to show on stream?
Yeah, I believe so because when I look at it, it shows my local network address, not my public IP address. When I do it on Windows,
So do it.
so
How would I
and you
know one way or another if it's
so
the
on
right
a
one or the
step.
wrong
All
one?
right, here's what we can do.
Yeah.
Move that off to another screen
Yeah.
just to be ultra sure. Click on the show so that it shows you on the other screen,
You
and
know
then
what's
like go
funny?
Google what is my IP address, and then if that matches, then you don't want to show it on stream.
Okay. Well, you know it's gonna be really awkward. I dragged this to the other screen,
And if
but
it
then if
pops
I
up,
click
then
this, if it pops back up on the original
all
screen
right,
where
stop
OBS
sharing
is.
completely on StreamYard then.
Oh, this is fun.
Yes, my
Why
worst
would it
nightmare
not?
as well, Jordan.
It won't let me change layouts.
In
Wait, what the
StreamYard?
hell?
Did we just lose him again? Or did I get disconnected? It's just me again. We did it again, chat. We knocked him out of his own stream and took over. Mission accomplished. Yes, can we get some Fs in chat for James? I think his internet is just like just weird timing that happened with his internet. I feel so honored that he's trusting me to hold things down. All right, I'm looking at what ChatGPT is saying in regards to this error. So when trying to connect to an OBS WebSocket server using that library, it typically indicates a mismatch in the protocol expectations between the client, so your OBS WebSocket library instance, and then the OBS WebSocket server. This can be due to several reasons, including version incompatibilities, which I think we've ruled that out, incorrect connection settings. Again, I think we ruled that out, or issues with WebSocket. There he is. Your internet cut out again?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was joking with chat and I said, we did it again. We got him out, out of his own stream.
Now everyone has full access to everything on my computer, I'm sure.
And I was saying, I'm honored that you let me take over the whole stream. And you're just like, it's okay. Clarkio's got it.
Welcome to Brian's new podcast, his new stream, his new channel. Yeah. Sarah, I got to take the kids to McDonald's. Obviously, McDonald's time. Have a good one, Sarah. Thanks for stopping by. So I did look up the so what's showing inside of OBS settings is not what shows if I go to like a what's my IP website.
Okay, perfect. So then that is your local network address, along with the other devices that you showed us earlier.
So
it's probably got their own local network address. So to me, that it's safe. If it doesn't match when you looked it up publicly, then you're good.
So the public IP is the one like for my actual router.
Yeah. So your whole house, every device that's on your house is using that IP when it's talking externally to the internet.
Right.
Yep.
So if they had that, then they could potentially go to that and figure out what are the different devices that are connected to it and do things from there.
Well, yes and no. Like depending on what your firewall settings are, if they'll basically they just run like a scan against that IP address and they can start seeing
can I do this? Can I do this? Can I see this port?
What's open, what's available for me to get access to, and then use that as a foothold to do things further. So
Yep.
Plus it also can reveal potentially like your physical location, then you start getting into physical security stuff that it's like, to me,
sure.
I don't want it. I don't want, it's not exactly like exact location of where you are, like based on the IP address, but people can start deducing that with that bit of information,
Okay.
So,
all right.
So what is that IP that it's shown in the connection info for WebSocket?
I hope I didn't mess this up. What if I messed it up and I'm wrong?
Is there?
Right. We'll take the chance. This one.
No, that looks fine. 10.0.0 is a common.
Which makes sense. Like the public IP is going to be like the full, like it's not going to have zeros. It's going to have numbers everywhere.
Right.
And that's the thing that's actually unique across the world, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Whew. Okay. Now that we got that
it.
out of the way.
We did something.
So yeah, copy that and let's see if we use that IP, that local IP as the what are people saying? Yeah, 10.0 is local. And 24 screenshots in 3, 2,
4, 4, 5, 5.
Do you need the WebSocket WS colon?
Yeah, I assume so. So that was it.
I don't know how to pronounce their name. Is it Suvi one? Oh, Cove.
I say Cove. Yeah,
my IP.
That's a 2, 4. Okay, so 4455. WebSocket, no auth, just like Vancouver. Nice. So I said that from the beginning, I think, and I guess we never talked about it because I just said Cove and just assumed. So here's to me getting it right. All right, so I'm gonna save in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I didn't scroll down to the bottom of the log, so I don't know what it. No. Jeez Louise.
Is there something else running at the same time too? Maybe. Because I'm noticing, like, you got your Twitch connection stuff that's going on there. What are you using?
Oh, sorry. This is so. I hope this doesn't make a difference. This is also like starting a Twitch bot and
uncomment that for a second.
Yeah, okay, so same. Yeah. So people are sharing, like, as jokes, I assume, those IPs, which look a lot different than my one that I just shared. Those look more like real IPs, but I'm assuming those aren't their real IPs.
Stoney's is not. That looks like a local address. Zamthor is a little suspect. I don't know that they want to.
He definitely knows what he's doing, so that's definitely not his real one.
Okay, so maybe he's pointing us to. He might be rickrolling us with that.
Maybe
in that case.
Yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, like, and then Cove's one is like that's the DNS of what is that, Cloudflare or Google? No, that's Google's DNS address.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, if you want, so when you go to like search for, I don't know, ESPN.com, that has to map to a physical number address, IP address.
Mhm.
And so your DNS server, whichever one you connect to, which typically your internet service provider will kind of handle that for you, or you can manually set your device to go to another DNS provider, which Google provides one. So that's their address, 8.8.8. Cloudflare has one, 1.1.1.1.
Hmm.
And sometimes you want to switch to those because it gives you faster lookup times than what your internet service provider might default to. Um, so yeah,
Okay.
fun networking stuff that I didn't think I was going to go into.
I know. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to learn today too.
Yeah.
Xanthor also said he bought a block of IPs from his ISP. So that's just like,
Oh,
is that just an IP that you don't use? That it doesn't matter if just call ISP and ask to purchase static IPs.
yeah.
Interesting.
Although I'm not sure that every internet service provider does that because
No,
I don't believe I can do that with mine.
you gonna learn today? Kuv, my IP knowledge was exhausted when we started the stream. So, so I mean, we're out, right? Of
I
where do
I
we go from here?
I mean, so I was telling while you got disconnected, I was telling chat that I was asking Chat GPT,
Mm-hmm.
and it was essentially telling me everything that we've done. We've checked version compatibility between the OBS WebSocket library and then the plugin that's used in OBS. We verified the OBS WebSocket server configuration, so make sure the OBS WebSocket server is configured correctly. This includes the correct port, and if applicable, the correct authentication settings, which we did that.
Comment really quickly
Yeah.
from Darren, checking the WebSocket plugin version number. So, quick clarification: their OBS 28 and above, and I'm on 30.0.2, does not need the plugin. It's just built in.
Yep.
So then if you're asking about the npm package, I downgraded to 5.0.2 at some point, to match what Brian had, and that didn't work either. So I wonder if,
Um,
like, I don't know, if I went down to like a 4.0 version. I think the SDK for that is different though.
yes. So if you went to 4, then that's when we're gonna start having
Code changes.
intentional incompatibilities because I think the version of OBS that you're on is using the plugin that's 5 that you would need to use the package, the npm package that's version 5. It kind of coincides with each other.
So plugin integral to OBS version. Yes, the one integrated in OBS. Yeah.
Yep. And then it says review your connection code, which everything, we're using the one from there.
Scott's Mav is checking their code base on their phone. It's a pain. I tried to review a
Although
PR for my phone the other day, and it not the best.
OBS 28 plus embedded with WebSockets version 5. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, Mav.
About a version 4 API endpoint that crashed OBS. Oh yeah, I remember Sony you mentioning that. Man, I'm exhausted. It's so defeating to like spend hours on something and not get anywhere. But you know what does make me feel better is that you and all these people have tried to do it too, and we still haven't figured it out.
Yes.
Like if it had just
Well,
been like a tiny thing that I'd missed on my own for 2 hours, I'd have felt pretty shitty about it.
right.
Now I feel like we're
This
at least bonded together.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Just this sub-protocol thing is just interesting. You
Well,
know,
am I the only person that's experienced that too? Like why is that not Googleable to the point where I can actually find something?
yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that. What ChatGPT is saying is the error suggests that there might be an expectation of a specific sub-protocol that isn't being met. So OBS WebSocket JS typically handles this internally. Changes or updates in the library or WebSocket plugin might have introduced new requirements or bugs. Well, one other option we can have is if you don't use that library and you just use vanilla JS like I'm doing it, where I'm just using like straight up raw WebSocket connection stuff. I don't
Which
suggest it because the library makes it like it gives you the
yeah.
syntactic sugars, you know,
I
of
mean, I'd like for it to work. What so is it like a pretty quick like I could just copy and paste your code?
you should be able to, yeah. So
And
I
which
think
project was that?
I sent you the gist on that. Let me get that
Not
for you real
the
quick though
okay.
in the Twitter thread because I don't have that link handy either.
Dum. And remind me again how so your Twitch line highlighter, the way this worked.
I just from the extension itself.
Sorry, I got distracted.
No worries. I thought I had posted a gist in this thread.
Xanthor Miguel said he's using the same OBS and OBS.js and it's working. Jeez Louise.
So it leads me like, do you have another machine you can maybe test this out on too? Not right now, but like,
Uh,
you know,
I have to go dig up like a pretty old one, maybe.
maybe Jess's laptop or something, and just install OBS on it and then try and run it. You know what I mean?
She
Oh,
only has
lockdown.
her work one, I think, and they're like super locked down now.
Yeah, I got you. Fair enough. Just is this it? Here it is. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna send this to
Um,
you in the chat.
Joe Brinkman. I didn't know how to respond to this at first because it was so different contextually that I didn't know if it was like spam, but I think you're being genuine. And I just want to confirm and acknowledge that now. So Joe, I assume that you're referencing way back when we kind of asked people for their fun facts about themselves. And yours is that you spent one night anchored over a mine in the Persian Gulf off the coast of Iraq. That sounds wild. And
Yeah.
anchored like in a boat over a mine?
And was it knowingly? Like you
That's a
knew
good
the
point
mine
too.
was
Yeah.
there, and you're like, we're just gonna chill
Like
here.
we're
And
good. So my mom uh grew up in Cuba for a couple years when my grandfather was in the Navy. And she said their American soil was surrounded by landmines. So if you walked off of American soil, you were just walking into landmines, which is pretty terrifying.
Mm. So that there is a gist of me using this with auth, so you can just ignore that part
Okay.
if you don't want, you know, and then make sure it connects.
So
And it should work in Node too because it's using the built-in web API WebSocket.
Jason Torres is saying he assumes that he meant a coal mine, which actually does make more sense. Well, it potentially does. I don't know. But yeah, feel free to clarify. So which part of this would be so
So I
I
use
could get
the
rid of password.
yep.
We need answers. And
Mhm.
then this thing I should make that IP that I just looked at.
You should be able to leave it that at one.
Oh, because that's localhost. Okay, sorry.
Yep. You
And
comment
then
out or remove line
Postman is a good
7.
idea. This one.
Yep. Then
Address port open on close on air on message. And so you're thinking I can just like get rid of all this code. I don't need to check any auth stuff.
right. Yeah, you have auth turned off. So,
And then I don't need that. So I could get rid of
yep.
that. I may just move this to the top. So it's
Did I lose him again?
great.
Oh, you froze for a second there. I thought I might have lost you.
Me? Did you lose me?
No, I hear you now.
Now you got me scared.
No, I hear you now. Let's give this a
It's
shot and then
it's
call it here.
yeah, that's probably right. Okay, so what we hopefully would see is this one.
Yes, with no
Okay.
errors or anything, but we'll see. This will prove that it might be something not related to the library, but maybe it's your machine, you know?
Oh shit.
No, you're good.
Wow.
Connected to OBS WebSocket server.
Okay. Did you have
So what
anything where you sent a message on here?
I did when if we can test it out with the authentication. So if you turn authentication on,
Oh, you have to wait. Can I not just send a message back?
yeah, you can too. I'm just saying.
That I would want to have all turned on eventually.
Well, no, I
I
meant
mean,
like the whole auth exchange is sending messages for that to happen anyway. So if that's what I was saying. If you wanted to test it out, you could do it that
oh,
way,
okay.
or just send a message. I
How?
don't know how to do that, but you basically have to create a payload just like that one that you have commented out there, which is
Yeah,
why I was saying, if we really want to test it out,
gotcha.
I already
Okay,
have that figured out. Let's do it that way versus because again, this is all raw WebSocket protocol and payload that they have.
okay. So you're saying go back to that. Okay, and then go to OBS, and then I will change this in a minute. But
Mhm.
since people don't have my public IP,
Yeah, you're fine. They need your public IP and you need your firewall to enable external port access to that port.
I can
Look,
do
we're even
that.
getting connected WebSocket sessions. Look at that.
Yeah. Generate. So show
Maybe hit
apply.
apply. Yep, and then show. Okay. Yeah, it went through fine. Because I believe that
Um.
opcode 2 there is to signify that the auth finished
Okay.
successfully, if I recall correctly. So
And then there's yeah. I am. Is it I am UTBA UTBA? That's a hide that password. I'll reset that in a second. But that's what we were just talking about. Is yeah. Anyway, we'll reset it. But what was I just gonna do? Oh, change scene in OBS and it should send a message.
there you go. Yeah,
Mother.
you're getting that.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that works.
So, well, this is good though because it helps rule out some things, right? Because if you just use straight up raw website, so it might be the way that you're trying to connect. Maybe if we use the same connection information with the other library. So if you use 127, that same password, all that fun stuff.
Okay. So you're saying
127.0.0.1. Yep, right there.
4455. Same thing.
Yep. I wonder the other thing I want to double while you're doing that, keep doing that. I'm gonna what are you laughing about?
Oh, password now.
Oh.
Uh, uh, same thing. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I'll Sony, let me grab the gist for you. Or anybody else that's interested in it, you can go and look at it. It seems it's interesting. It seems like people when I stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time for a while, people die off of YouTube and
Mhm.
then people stick around on Twitch, which is kind of interesting.
I think because the culture is different, right?
Yeah.
Like Twitch people are expecting
Around.
to
Yeah.
they're going to Twitch to watch long form content where YouTube they may or may not, right?
Hmm.
It's got to be something with this library, man. It's got to be. This is really going to bug me.
You and me both.
WebSocket close code or with code -1.
Because it's live and fun. We all know one another. That makes it better. Oh, I am. Tell me how to say your name. Is it I am Utba? I am UT? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's EM. I don't know. But let me know how to
Maybe we got to formulate this
UTBA.
identifying message.
Is that your actual name? Phil on YouTube. Shoot, I hate when this happens. You say like options, and they're like, "Yeah, that's right." And I'm like, "Oh, which option was it that?"
Mhm.
Yes, my name. So I am Utba. I won't say another option until you confirm if that's the right one. So that's what I think we've settled on. Phil Strainer on YouTube says maybe try running this using Node instead of Bun.
Oh, maybe.
Well, that would be interesting. That's fair. I feel like that's a really good point. Okay. Let's do new file. Space root of OBS dot. Oh, do I need to get out of this project? All right, let's do this. Make dir node OBS cd node OBS net. Yes.
That would be weird
npm
if it is
install
a bun thing.
OBS WebSocket JS. And then touch and next JS. Already do that. And then code. Oh, that's not what I meant
So
to
you
do.
got it. You got it in the Explorer right now. You can open it up anyway.
There. Sorry. What now?
Yeah, right there.
And then we're saying run node. Oh my God. I bet you that seems likely though.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's not get our hopes up just yet.
Oh,
Do you
no.
need to? It's not going to support import, right?
Oh, shoot.
You got to say module, type module in package JSON.
And this one. Oh, module package. What is it?
I think it's type module.
Oh, type module.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wow.
It's Bun. So what is it about Bun? Does Bun just use a
So
different WebSocket protocol or something?
yes, I wanted to try that call. Wait,
Yeah.
it's like OBS
No,
scene
you had it.
list.
Yeah, yeah, it's right there. Copilot's got you covered. Dude.
Current scene.
Maybe just log the data. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Dude. What? All right, now I need to know what is it about Bun? It's using a different WebSocket library. Nice. Good call. Who was that? Give them like a kudos point.
Well, and what's funny is I think was it Scott's Mav that said that? And I think he even said like try it in Node, I'm reaching now. And then I was thinking, I was like, actually that like wow. Or who was it?
Oh my gosh. 2 hours later, it was Bun.
I know. Oh no, I'm sorry. I gave the wrong person credit. Phil on YouTube said try running this in Node instead of Bun. And then someone else, and then Scottsmev said it could be some incompatibility with Bun reaching now. Holy moly.
Oh man. Hey.
Wait, is this real? Gooseman, do they really have obs.get? They don't have. It's not a real function, is it?
Or just console log it.
I forget I'm not watching, or I forget what the node command is. The watch.
Well, in no, if you have node 20, I think it's
Yeah, what is it though? Is it watch?
I think it is watch, yeah. There you go, yeah. Failed to connect undefined object is not defined. Which object?
Oh, did I say obj dot?
Oh, yep, that's why.
It's funny. It seems not. I didn't think because it doesn't give me IntelliSense on that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Goose, you got a different version. Holy moly,
dude! I'm glad it was sorted out though.
Wow.
You know, it just took until the very last minute that we were planning here, but
Wow.
I wonder if there's a way if you can tell Bund like what protocol to use with WebSockets and stuff like that. I don't know, but now we know. That's good to know because I like using Bund for new projects too. And if I had switched to that
Yeah.
for mine, I think you need to like write like a blog post or make a video about that. Like, hey, watch out. Here's a story. You know what I mean? Like most people know, like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm excited. I want to try out Bun. What are some of the things that I'm never going to run into incompatibility issues? And then boom, lo and behold,
Yeah.
WebSockets.
Kuv is asking, is Bun similar to Pusher? No, Bun is a runtime, like a JavaScript runtime, like Node is. And there's lots of things. The one big thing that I think is huge about Bun is that it comes with TypeScript baked in. You can also use CommonJS and ESM modules together, and in theory they work. Um, but some sort of, I guess this has some sort of compatibility thing with the way it does WebSockets. It uses UWS or something.
Mm.
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. Cool. Yeah. Goose, thanks for sharing that link too. Whew.
Yeah,
I'm
shout out to Gooseman has done a lot of
mhm.
Twitch extension creation stuff.
Yep.
Fellow
Bunch of good
dev stream.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I have to figure out that sucks because I was really planning on having my whole bot be Bun and then incorporating this stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I mean, yeah, we identified this, but it may still be possible with Bun. It might just be, you know, some type of setting up or configuration with Bun to tell it what WebSocket to use or like to make it compatible. I wonder.
Yeah. Hmm.
But it feels good to at least get to the
It
cause.
does. Yeah. Now I can at least do something.
Yeah. And then we can work on extension next.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll have to maybe offline, we'll schedule a follow up. And I'm going to get ready and go help out with Jess and baby, which is always like my limitation in the afternoon. So thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. It's
Oh, thanks
been,
for having me. This was a fun problem to try
yeah,
and dig through. And you know, I wish we didn't have to go through a
the
lot of that,
whole thing
especially
to
like
get
the
there. Yeah.
uninstalling and reinstalling. But
I
you
know.
know, it
I
helps.
know. Well, I mean, we learned, and I get to learn about networking IPs, and that's huge. So
Yeah.
learned a lot of things. Also, my thing crashed a couple times, so that was fun too. But all right, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna raid. I'm gonna raid everyone over to BBB, to bald bearded
Yes.
builder, which is always super fun
Awesome.
to say.
And don't forget to change your password.
Aha, that's right. Don't do. Oh, see, Kuva's already trying to get me with IP config release all. Don't do that one.
That will disconnect you.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna send everybody over to BBB, but thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.